largest grill, and probably the most popular grill that you're going to find from Z-Grills, is going to be in the 700 series. And they make a lot of grills in the 700 series, mostly modeled after these two right here. But I can tell you that even though they are all kind of the same size, and these two look exactly the same except one has a cabinet and one does not, there are some other differences that make each one of these three grills completely unique to itself. Starting over here with the smaller one, this is going to be the 700 2E, and this is going to have a bottom shelf that is open with feet on this side and non-marking wheels over on that side. The inside of it is going to have a very large cooking grid and a warming rack, and even though this is a 700 series grill, it's actually better sized to, say, the Pit Boss 820 series, because this barrel is essentially a barrel from a Pit Boss 820. If you were to look at a 700 series from Pit Boss, it is noticeably smaller than this grill. So they've been able to pack as much grill as they possibly can into a standard freight box to ship it directly from the factory to the end user. None of these grills come with a side shelf opposite of the hopper, and there's not even any space for that as an option. So the only side shelf that you're going to get is going to be on top of the hopper of each one of these. This is going to offer you some shelf space on the bottom. The 700E is going to have a fully enclosed cabinet, and the newest grill that they have, which is the 700 2F2, does not have a bottom shelf at all, but it does have the sawhorse styled legs, which make it a lot easier to travel across uneven ground than its counterpart over there, which is a bit tippy when you're moving it by yourself across grass. The 700E, which is also the 700D in the bronze, has 4 caster wheels, and this is a very heavy grill, and it does not like to move across grass whatsoever. The 700 2F2, very easy to move across the grass, has good wheels on the back for going over uneven surface, but also has casters on this side so it can be maneuvered very easily on a deck. The 700 2F2 also has a very nice looking stainless steel decorative trim. It gives you a much larger handle than you would typically find on the 700 series. And it has a PID controller with meat probes versus the typical Z-Grills controller that offers no meat probes, and it is not PID control. Even though this controller on the older style 700s may seem like it's out of date, because it is, it's by industry standards, it's probably 10 years old. 10 years ago when that came in, that was the greatest thing ever, that you could see what temperature it was in the grill. It's not always perfect, but it's a pretty good system. It's tried, it's true, it's been tested, and it does a really good job at doing what it's supposed to do. The other feature that you're going to find on the newer series grill with the PID control is that you're going to get a window down the hopper to let you know how many pellets are in there, which is kind of silly because you could just open it up and take a look, but it's there anyway. Your handle on the side, it also doubles as a place to wrap your cord, and the back of this hopper is going to have a dump so you can get the pellets out if you want to change flavors, or if you gotta prepare for rain or something like that. In the box that you get with these grills, all of these are going to come with a cover that you can put over it that's fitted for the 700 series. So on the inside of all of these grills, basically it's exactly the same. It's going to be a drip pan, a cooking grid, and a warming rack. And there's nothing really different about any of those on the inside, because the barrels are in fact exactly the same size. However, there is one thing that I was able to do, and I want to demonstrate that for you, because when I was measuring the 700 series, I found it odd that they were actually bigger than 700. Most grills, when they say 500, 1,000, 700, it basically means how many square inches do you have for cooking surface on the main grid plus the warming rack. But these seem to be a little bit bigger than 700, and I'm not exactly sure why they chose 700 as the number. But I was curious, so I went over to my other grill, which is over here. Let me bear it back. And so I was looking at the 700 series saying, it looks exactly like maybe a Traeger, but it's smaller than the 34 series, and it's bigger than the 22 series, and it's also a little bit bigger than the Pit Boss 700 series. And I thought, I wonder if this would work. So this is the flame broiler out of a Pit Boss 820. If we remove the cooking grid and we remove the drip pan and we remove the baffle, the flame broiler for the 820 fits in there perfectly. This grill might look familiar if you've been looking around at grills. It's because it is. It's a Grilla Silverback. Exactly. Everything about this grill is the Grilla Silverback. The Grilla Silverback is going to use a better controller over here that is more accurate at holding temperatures, and that is their own proprietary controller. But there's a difference between that grill and this one, and it lies on the inside. You're going to have the same warming rack. You're going to have the same cooking grid. You're going to have the same grease pan. The difference is that the bottom of the 700D and the 700E is insulated. There is an insulating piece of stainless steel in the bottom that is going to keep the wind from changing the temperature of the bottom of the grill and affecting the overall grill temperature while you're smoking things outside in, let's say, windy or inclement weather. And you find that on the 700E and the 700D, but it's not on the 702E, and it's not in the 702 F2. All of the grills are numbered kind of the same. All of the grills look pretty much the same. You would think that there is a hierarchy between these different offerings, when in fact, they're actually all completely different grills that are assembled from parts that Z-Grills has in their warehouse from all of the other grills that they manufacture for all of the other manufacturers. So if I had to pick one of these, to be honest, I would go with this one because it's insulated. I actually kind of like the whole cabinet approach because you can put stuff underneath there and it's not going to get wet. And then I would update this controller, buy the Grilla controller and put that on there. And then you got a Grilla grill for 500 versus 900. And so one of the other things that I like about Z-Grills, and this is unique to Z-Grills because other companies don't do this, but they put this cross weld on their heat baffle, which keeps this thing from warping. And this is the same exact baffle that you would get on a Traeger, but the Traeger's not going to have any of these. It's basically the same as this without these things, and I haven't seen that on any other grills except for Z-Grills. So if there's one thing that they've actually done to their grills that's different than everyone else, is that they've supported their baffles so that they don't warp. You know, the build quality of these is the same that you're going to get when you order a Pit Boss or a Z-Grill or a Louisiana grill or Rectech or what have you, because the company that makes these grills makes everybody else's grills too. So thanks for watching. Scott Williamson, Grill Parts for Less, and please hit that notification bell for future videos or subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I hope you learned something about Z-Grills, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.